Hello, welcome. Thanks for checking this video out. Today I wanted to talk to you about the National Park Cancellation Stamp Excel database that it's available in our Etsy store. And if you collect National Park Cancellation stamps and you're looking to track your progress, we have created a perfect tool for that. And it's fully and customizable to you database that you could find in our Etsy store. And today I'm going to go through what this database is, what it does, and how you can edit it once you've downloaded it. So let's get started. This is the database that you will receive once you purchase it from Etsy, and this was built with Excel 2019. Once you open it, you will notice 4 different tabs, and I'm gonna go through each of them next. The first tab, it's a Q&A, basically a few questions and answers that I thought would be useful to get you to learn more about what this database is, what it does, how you can make changes to it, what you can change, and so forth. The second tab, it's called the site list, and this tab contains all of the sites within National Park System. Right now there's 450, and there's more than the official ones because some locations have stamps and they may not be in your book, and that's what this column does. So let's go through each of them. There's a full name, obviously, of the location. There's an abbreviation. So First State National Historic Park will be abbreviated as NHP, and we have, later I'll show you the stats that track different visitations and cancellations based on the abbreviation. There's a primary location. Some sites have multiple locations. We have the state, the geographical region. The colors match the colors in your passport book. So I think that's useful. Some are multi-state, and there's a column that shows you which ones those are, just in case you're in one state and you can get cancellation stamps in different places, just something to be mindful of. Like I said, some of these locations may not be in your book. So here's a good example. Glen Echo Park does not have a stamp place in the passport in the latest passport book. You might have different versions of it, but it does have a cancellation stamp. So you can find these places. I think that's useful if you want to collect more than what's in your book. You can always do that. So these are marked with the X, and that's the reason why this column is here. Some of these locations have regional stamp, have been selected for the regional stamp for different years. So Mid-Atlantic region, we have, let's say, First State National Historic Park in Delaware was a regional stamp selection for 2023. So you can get those extra stamps or stickers for your passport book. Just something to also be mindful and track if you wish. Some are also selected for the national stamp year, and you have the years since the beginning added to this column. And the very last 2 columns are really the only 2 that you need to be concerned about, because these are the only 2 that you will be updating. If you don't want to change anything else in this workbook, then these are the only 2 you really need to do anything to, and it's very easy. I'm going to show you how to do that. Next, we're going to go into Site Data Summary, which is the visual tab of this database. It basically contains different ways. This data, the site list, it's shown in different ways for you to see visually how you're doing, how much you have left to go if you wish, and you can see that by state, you can see that by different site location, by region, and this is the same as above. It just shows you a graphic of how this changes. And then we have a map that shows you percentages and the color changes once you start updating it. And then some fun facts, because there's quite a bit of fun facts about our national parks. And then the last version, the last tab is a version history. Depending on when you purchase this database, there might be different number of locations. As you know, NPS changes constantly. We try to keep up with it, so we'll update this a couple times a year, and then this version shows you basically the latest that you have and prior versions, what has changed since those were published. So let's go next and make some changes in this tab, and so you can see how the summary tab changes as a result. So like I said earlier, these two columns, K and L, are the only two columns you need to worry about. And there's also notes here to tell you what you need to do in each. So I'm going to go and show you how to basically add data to them and how that changes the information in this tab. So once again, this is 0. There's 450 sites. Everything is at 0 for number of locations canceled. So let's go in site list and start adding information. I'm just going to pick some random ones. So let's say visit date 1/30/2023 and why, meaning you've canceled it. That's basically all you need to do. If we now go into site data summary, you see how you have this number now changed. In the Mid-Atlantic region, you have a 1. You've canceled 2% of this location or of this region. You also have 1 here. This is a national monument. You've canceled 1 out of the 82 available, 1% done. And now if we go here, we're also going to see it in Delaware. No, I'm sorry, it's not Delaware. We got to go further down. This is in Maryland. You've canceled 6% of Maryland. And you also see how it changed here. Okay, so let's go add some more in other regions. So let's go to Indiana and do 5/1/2020 Y. Let's do a few more. Let's do this one, 7/2/2019 Y. Let's do different regions just so you can see 9/25/2015 Y. So you can see how it changes. Let's do 2 here in Washington. And let's do just a few more. Southeast, Southwest. 9/1/2020. And just a few in the West. So we forgot to add the Y's here, so let's add it. So, okay, that's all you need to do in terms of adding your visit data. And now let's go here and look how that changed automatically. So we've added 10 sites. We've done 2%. You see different states, how you're doing. You're seeing in different types of locations, how you're doing. You're seeing different regions, how you've done. You have percentages here have changed. You see the summary data in green, what has been canceled, and this is the total. And then, of course, the map here, you've done 17% in Washington, 7% California, and so forth. So this is how the data changes. This is basically all you need to do. Very easy to update, very useful, I think, just so you can stay on top of your cancellation stamps and make sure you've covered all of it if that's your goal. But I want to show you one more thing, and that is how to make changes to the site list if you wish. So let's do that next. Depending on which version of this database that you have, you might have different locations than what the most current list that NPS has is. So you might want to make changes to this database over time. And that's very easy to do. This is like any other Excel sheet, really, in terms of how you can edit it. And you can edit any of this information. I would say if you don't want to see these two, it's not useful to you, you can hide it. Same thing here. This is just the same information as the two columns I just hit. So let's say we don't care about that. There you go. You can also delete those if you wish, but just be mindful that a lot of this data feeds into this tab. So if you're going to delete it, you might affect how this looks like. So I would say if you don't want to see it, just hide it. But if you want to make other changes like add columns or change the name or the location or anything else, like you can add the years down the line over time, you can do any of that. I mean, this is really, you can type anything here and it stays like any Excel sheet. But let's do one thing. Say if you purchase a database, I don't know, now it's July 2024. If you purchase a database in January and National Park Systems has added additional site. Here's a good example. Amachi National Historic Site was added early 2024. If you purchase this database before that site was added, you might want to add it yourself. And here's how you do that. So I'm going to delete this, and that's how you delete any row, really. It will change now. It's going to say 449 because you've deleted one, and when you add one, it's going to add it back in. But I want to show you how you can add it. So based on where you want to add it, select your location and you can insert. And you're going to insert typically a row above, and then you can start typing. Amachi National Historic Site. Okay. NHS. This is in Granada, Colorado. Oops. Am I typing that right? Colorado, okay. This is in Rockies. There's no stamp here. There's no regional stamp just yet. That might come later on. And this is basically how you add it. Now you see it's back to 450. And if the color is not the right color, this is Rocky Mountain, so it should be this color. All you have to do is select the row above or any other row and do Format Painter and then just point it or click over the row that you need changed. And that's basically all you need to do. It changed the color to the color that you want it. And this is this is it. Really, this is how you make changes. This is how you can add new locations to the database, how you can make edits. You can, like I said, make any changes that you want. This is like a regular Excel database, make it your own. And hopefully, this is useful for you and you can track your progress and you can visually see how much you have going, and it can help you in trip planning and much more. I hope this was useful to you. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to reach out. And as always, happy travels and have fun collecting more stamps and visiting more awesome locations. Thank you for watching.